The Midwest, home sweet home in good old Indiana. Place of small towns, cozy families gathered together, and fields of corn and rustic woods. But, like any town, there is a dark underbelly that often goes unnoted. We are part of that darkness. We lurk in the shadows to bring you the best in horror, metal, and stories of the grotesque. This is Blood in the Cornfields.
All right, welcome in, fellow cellar dwellers. Today we are coming obviously live in the flesh. We have some guests here with us that we'll get to here in just a second, but as always, I am Mark.
And I'm Ivy.
And this is...
Torture
Pig. I love the enthusiasm.
Torture Pig. Let's do that again, man. Do it with conviction. Do it with
Torture Pig.
Torture Pig.
Yeah.
Your turn. Torture Pig.
There you go. Yes.
Where's the power violence?
That's perfect.
Awesome. Well, yes, we're welcoming in Torture Pig for our first actual YouTube live in the flesh type shit that we're doing. So
doing an interview. We're trying to make a habit of it with metal, with our metal genre, and try to interview local bands if we can. Please support them anytime that you can. We'll also, of course, let you know of upcoming shows that they have, because we definitely want them to be supported. They're some awesome people. We've been hanging out with them for a little bit. They're great people, so please check out their stuff.
Sweet. Awesome. We don't believe in microphone stands, so fuck that. Yeah, I guess we'll get into it. We have some questions for you guys that we're just going to kind of ask and kind of get to know you some more, and so that our audience as well can get to know you. So
so introduce yourselves.
Yeah.
I'm Caden.
I'm John, and I play the bass.
Caden, what do you do?
Guitar.
Okay, awesome.
I do the vocals. I'm Jared.
I'm also Jared. I play drums and do backup vocals.
Wacky.
Awesome. Sweet. So I guess first off, how long have y'all been together?
Like a year.
June of last year.
Yeah?
Yeah.
This year?
Because I got into my Snapchat memories and I just remembered, yeah.
Awesome. Sweet. Well, Ivy's got some questions he's going to probably fire off, but we'll get into it.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about how y'all met.
Who wants to?
I have Jared. Jared's story.
So I wanted to start a band forever, and me and him had a band for like a month, and we sucked. So then COVID happened, and I gave up on it, and I was like, oh, I'll just do it myself. And like, I think you texted me, and we were like, do you want to do a show with Hollywood Worship sometime? Mm-hmm. And I was like, dude, I haven't made any music yet.
I remember the first time I ever interacted with Jared, though. It was after a local show, and like he texted me. He was all like, "Oh, you guys are awesome!" But it was funny because like at that show, I had like my wallet in this corner, and Jared was also in that corner. So I kept like looking over, like thinking like he was gonna like steal my shit. So yeah, I was like, "Who is this person?" And then you text me, I was like, "Oh, okay, no, this is cool."
I just chill in corners.
Yeah.
So you were in a band before as well?
Yeah, I was at that time. I was in this band called Hollywood Worship, which is now done.
It's all right.
Yeah, but yeah, we played a local show, and just people. He texted us or texted me specifically, and we just kind of got the ball rolling. And then Jared and I, just practiced like one-on-one, and just kind of talked about the idea of Torture Pig. And then like after that practice, like a week later, like he brought along John and Caden. And then we just kind of went from there. Really, we were all
hit it off.
We were all just we were all just really into like the same music, same heavy music, just wanting to create and good stuff.
That's awesome.
Sweet.
I have my bootleg Hollywood Worship shirt on.
What's that, Joe Rogan?
Yeah, it is. So on one of the flyers, there's like an O instead of an A, but they spelled it wrong. So me and like my friend Mario and Corbin thought it would be really funny to make like bootleg shirts that had it spelled wrong. And then they have a song called This in a Blunt, so we just put Joe Rogan smoking a blunt on it.
That's awesome.
That works.
He just texted me one day, and I thought it'd be real cool.
So I was in a band from like, I don't want to talk about this. I was in a band.
Shitty bands.
I was in a band called Widow Suicide.
On Spotify.
We started. No, it's not.
Check them out.
No, please. We started off called Blister, and I was like, how many bands are there called Blister? And I was like,
Was
we
that
need
a
to
toe
change
blister or a hand blister?
Huh?
A toe blister or a hand
Toe.
blister?
Toe.
Toe blister, that's
Yeah.
good.
And we started in like August, and we all met at like a friend's birthday party, and we did not practice. And then March of 2022 came, and we were all hanging out one night, and we were like, let's release a song, and it was the worst decision of my life. and then I was getting tired of them because I didn't really particularly like the people. And
Tell us how you really feel.
and then I texted this Jared, and I was like, is this like a solo project, or do you already have members? And he was like, right now it's a solo project, but if members come along, like, I'll do it. And then I was like, well, I play guitar. I'm like, I lived in Goshen at the time. And I was like, I'm in Goshen, so like if you're down, like that's cool. And he was like, yeah. And then we practiced, and the chemistry set in.
No, it could be hard to find, like, because I grew up playing in music in this area too, and playing in like metal bands and stuff, but it can be hard to find actually multiple people that are interested in the genre of music that you want to make.
Yeah.
So, you know, when you've got friends, it's like, oh, fuck, let's just get together and try some shit.
Yeah.
With Widow's Suicide, like, the vocalist was like, he was into like Creed and Slipknot and like that stuff, and I was into like at the time when I joined the band, I was into more like technical deathcore. It was like Rings of Saturn and shit like that. And then and then the drummer was into like slam, and then the other guitarist was into like indie, and so it just didn't blend well. None of us had a good idea what we wanted.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And so that kind of go ahead.
Just want to say I'm deathcore's biggest hater.
So that actually brings me to a really good question for you guys. Why grindcore?
Funny.
Tell us.
Because it's funny. Literally, the songs are like 30 seconds long, and they sound so bad. They sound awful. Oh yeah. If you go to like any popular grindcore band, a majority of the songs are probably not going to be very listenable. Like Napalm Death's early album, it's really good, but also some of those songs kind of suck, if we're being honest. I didn't know what grindcore was, and I thought it was just like cool metal. So then I joined and I listened to their practice, and I'm like, I might be able to do something with this. Because I had never played any live music before that. Like, I played jazz bass and jazz band, and then I was like, I like stuff like Black Flag and and Fugazi. It's fast, and then no, it's not.
When I first joined the band, I didn't read the bio, and I didn't know it was a grindcore band. I thought it was a hardcore band. So like the first few riffs I sent to them like through videos were just straight rip-offs of like Vane FM and like Sanction and like shit like that, and then they were not, I don't think they were amused like at all. and then I looked at the bio and I was like, grindcore, and then I went on Apple Music and I typed in grindcore essentials, and then I just listened to the whole thing, and I was like I don't know what they're doing, so I'm just gonna play something. And it was just power chords and a lot of just
blast beats.
Yep, something like that.
Yeah.
I feel like what makes like Torture Pig with grindcore just makes it just so much easier to connect with, because like I feel like our like songs are all of our songs are like in between like 20 seconds to like 50 seconds, but it's just like so fun, you know. We're not like taking ourselves serious, like we like give it our all and like everything about it, like when making and playing these songs, but like when we're like writing them, like we literally just throw a riff out and then just run with it, you know. We're not like, you know, sitting on a riff for like 4 months and be like,
Right.
what are we gonna do? The time sig? No, like we just go for it. We literally have a song called Putrid Liquidation Sale. So
That's
that
awesome.
one we literally wrote just like,
Yeah.
I just started like playing riff, I was like, this sounds like Spy, and then he was like, play that again, and then that's one of our new songs.
literally like the day before the show we were practicing, and then he just threw that riff out and we're like, oh, let's play that tomorrow. So
Nice.
yeah, just stuck.
Yeah, that was the day before that show.
And it's a really good song. I really like that one.
So just for context, because we do have normies that watch, you know, hey normies. So we're going to kind of go into like a little bit history of grindcore. As you mentioned, you know, of course, Napalm Death was one of the originators of grindcore. It basically was kind of like, it started in the UK, kind of like where a lot of the punk punk crosses over with the metal genre, especially like in the 1980s. The term grindcore was actually helmed by Mick Harris of Napalm Death. He kind of said that he was kind of trying to think of a different way to describe the music that they were playing and that they were experimenting with. And he goes, grindcore. Yeah. that's what it is. So the description of grindcore is pretty much this. It's fast. Lots of speed and extreme vocals, of course. And a lot of the times in the early 2000s, it was called outsider music because nobody else knew how to describe it at the time. Some kind of other grindcore bands kind of note that have come out of it since the early 1980s were ones, of course, like Nauseam, Pig Destroyer. We also had Repulsion, Carcass, Terrorizer, and Siege.
Pig Destroyer fucks.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a little brief history about it. It does seem like in the Indiana scene, that grindcore, deathcore, we also have, kind of more of the punk aesthetic and also the scene in general that has kind of risen in popularity here in Indiana, but we see a lot of grindcore here. So why do you think that is? Why do you think that's the easiest one that a lot of people kind of go to for bands?
Because everybody's angry here, and it's fast and easy, and it's real fun.
So one of my favorite things I was ever told was after one of our shows, and I asked for an honest opinion on what someone thought, and he told me that we chose the least entry level genre of music to play because of how fast and weird it can be. And yeah, I agree. I'm pretty sure everyone likes it here because we're all just kind of angry about something.
Yeah.
I feel like especially just the Midwest in general, it's very just simple, so a lot of people can take that as oh, this place is so boring, I have so much pent up anger because it's just so boring here, but
cornfields.
yeah say what you will about the Midwest, but in general, just a lot of people with grind and the whole Midwest grind scene, I just feel like a lot of people are just they have that pent up anger, whether it's just where they're living, everything surrounding them, or they just have that anger towards them that's just they start it with punk, and then they just have so much anger and just so much to say that it just kind of transcends and turns into grindcore,
No, I like that. That's actually a really good description of it.
I don't know. I think grindcore, especially around here, can be very popular because it can be such just a relatable style of music to a lot of people, and sure, it can the sound of it can be kind of niche depending on who you're talking to, but you can do so much with grindcore. You can make it weird and add weird noises. You can make it really low tuned and kind of slam you can make it really fast, high, fast pitch, kind of fast pitch. That doesn't make any sense. Kind of more on the power violence side, more on the death metal side, more on the hardcore side. You can go anywhere with it. You can write about serious fucked up world problems that are going on. You can write about silly things. Yeah. Yeah, you can write about literally anything, and I think it's just I think the scene of it is just so respectable and just easy to associate yourself with, especially around here, because when you go to those shows, you have so much in common with people that you have just met walking into a basement, and it's so easy to just get along with people.
I mean, that's so true around here because we have, a lot of great venues around here in Indiana. A lot of ones close to here, like the Well we had been talking about. We also have, of course, in Fort Wayne, the Bug House.
Oh, yeah. Rest in peace.
Oh, man, is it gone now?
Yeah.
For now.
No! I know. I've been out of the game too long since I've been pregnant.
He's been doing shows at a park pavilion.
Oh, okay.
Recently.
Sorry, y'all. They got rid of my other favorite place, the Muse on Main, and it's just I made that last show and Cass was in my womb, so he was there.
That was my first ever hardcore show. Was at the Muse. It was no, it wasn't the final one. It was Mouth Breather, Soul Keeper, Moloch and Death Tax.
Oh,
Yeah.
Moloch.
That was my first ever.
Death
Death
Tax.
Force. Oh
My
yeah.
buddies.
Oh yeah. Rest in peace,
Oh,
man.
I love them. They're so good. But yeah, no, we got a lot of great scenes. But tell us how you got into metal. Like, what drove you to the dark side?
The music my dad listened to, which was like Poison and AC/DC, but not the cool AC/DC, the one that's like the Brexit guys. And then like he also listened to Metallica, and it slowly just got worse and worse to like Slipknot. And like in high school, I was the guy. I dressed like, well, I mean, I still do, but I would dress in all black, and I would like sit in the back of class and listen to Marilyn Manson by myself. And then
We've all been there. It's all good, man.
So it just like kept like, I guess, going downhill to more niche and weirder subgenres of it. But yeah, that's how I got into it.
So like I've like always been musical, whether it be just like my brothers like playing like Blink-182 or like my dad playing AC/DC or whatever, or my dad playing Enter Sandman. But I feel like the turning point was definitely in 8th grade, where I met my friend / bandmate Isaac, and they taught me, or they showed me Metallica. And at that point in time, like I had such a correlation with metal of like, you know, those images of like the Grim Reaper and like the they're like riding a chopper with like a scythe on their back. That's what I would think about like when I would think about metal. So I would always just find it so cringy when they were playing it. But then all of a sudden, you know, Fade to Black played. I was like, I understand it now, you know? So definitely like 8th grade listening to Metallica, what that was like the super turning point.
I actually didn't really listen to a lot of metal until I joined the band. I was a punk kid. My dad was a huge punk, and he listened to a lot of punk, and he took me to my first show, which was a punk show. It was with Sloppy Seconds, Harley Poe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was cool. Really good show, and then he would like, he listened to a lot of Green Day and stuff like that. And then I started going to hardcore shows because he took me to a show at the Well. First time I heard the Well 4 years ago. And then there was a metal band that played at the end called Knee Deep in the Dead. And I was like, what is this? This is so good. I can punch people. It's like crazy. And then from there, I started going to more shows. From there, I joined a band, joined a couple more. And it just, from there. But it all started with punk.
Nice.
We were supposed to see the Queers, like me and him, but and then COVID happened, and that show got canceled, which really sucked.
That really did suck.
And then pretty sure the guy from the Queers is like not cool anymore. I don't know.
Shit.
I think he said something bad. I can't remember though.
Yeah, it started for me too in 8th grade. No. I fuck with Taylor Swift now.
True Swiftie.
But and it started in 8th grade. I was into like the like would you consider them like trap metal, like NASCAR Low and like Zilla, I mean like that stuff. And then I was watching some interview from like one of those like rappers, and they mentioned Slipknot, and I was like, that's a cool name. And then I like listened to him, and I listened to, I think it was Psychosocial, and I was like, and I heard the guitar solo, and I was like, it hooked me. And then I like, that was the only band I listened to for like probably a year. I'm not even kidding. That's all I listened to day and night. And yeah, and then I like went down to like the bottom Apple Music, the similar artists, and I think I went to my first show was like October. It was at Ignition, and it was it was oh god, who was it? It was Nautilus, the Green Leaves, I don't remember. There was more bands.
It was Burial Party.
No, I didn't go to that show though.
Okay,
it was a Halloween show.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Was it last year?
It was 2020. Or 2020. Yeah, 2020.
Okay, just
in
before
October.
the pandemic.
Yep.
I was there.
You were?
I'm sure I was.
Yep. Yeah, have you ever heard of the band around here, In Perpetuum? Yep, the vocalist Andre.
I don't know.
Okay,
per se,
you might remember. He got up on stage in a Teletubbies costume.
Yep.
That was
we were
Andre.
there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Me and him.
He did so good that night.
He's really good.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't.
My husband was
if
there
he's
too.
watching this, I'm sorry because I barely know him. We like had one band together, but Yeah, I went to that show and then I didn't go to another show till like February. And this person I was talking to, and they were like, "Oh, it was my birthday weekend," and they were like, "Oh, you should come up to Fort Wayne and like come to this show." And it was that Mouth Breather show, and
nice.
I went up there and I got my ass kicked because I'd only ever like at the one show I got body slammed into Phil Spewer. That was who was on it, Phil Spewer. I got
Phil
body
Spewer,
slammed
yeah.
into their merch table.
Oh,
That was the
no.
closest that I've ever been to that. And then at that show, I was like, someone just grabbed me by my shirt and just like hit me, and I was like, this is scary. And then I went a few weeks later and saw Malik and Payasa and Prevention.
Oh, that's
yeah.
cool.
But yeah, it was all just like, I don't know. It just like, it was something I hadn't heard before. And it was something, because I was always into rap before. This is taking so long. But it was something more aggressive that I found some weird correlation to, I guess. Yeah.
That is the thing with local shows, though. I've been to a lot of them. Then I got pregnant and wasn't able to go to too many of them. I still tried to go, but obviously didn't participate in the moshing. I was always moshing.
Yeah.
That music just hits you in a certain way, and it just, you can't help but like, you need to go out. You need to be with your people, you know. But especially like at shows, your family. Like, you just start to get to know everybody there, and you definitely know more about that too, because you did a lot of shows.
That's true.
yourself.
Yeah. No, for me, it's kind of like I don't want to say it's like a brotherhood, but it's like almost, you know, like if you're in your pit, it's unwritten laws, you know, to hold people up and be nice and stuff like that. At least back in my day, I don't know about you fucking youngsters, but yeah, it's kind of a camaraderie and brotherhood. But you know, kind of with that being said, I'm curious about individual influences, but musician wise, like so instrumentally. So if you drums, like what inspired you? Like what drummers, what guitar players, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, that's my question for you.
So I'm definitely like super like I'm constantly getting inspired by just like different things. I feel like one of like I'm just interested in just genuine aggression, you know, genuine passion. And I feel like the biggest thing for me is definitely Zach Hill from Death Grips. he any video I've ever seen of him, whether it just be like all like the rehearsal clips or all the handcuff clip, that any video, just seeing that for the first time, like being such a metalhead, and then seeing that, I'm just like, it's almost like coming upon like an eldritch horror that you're just like, I have nothing I can relate this to. This is like completely new territory. So definitely like just any like freeform type of stuff, especially like, because all it is still like aggression, you know, like Zach Hill, Brian Chippendale from Lightning Bolt. I love his style so much. Like I definitely take a lot of influence from him. But also just like in general, like, I don't know. I like breakbeat stuff a lot. So I'm just kind of like taking that and then just kind of like transforming it into like my own style, like, you know, with Torture Pig, you know, sometimes I throw in the freeform like break beats or whatever, but I'm just interested in just genuine aggression and genuine passion, you know.
Since I do vocals for this band, like the person who got me into vocals, this is gonna be really cringe, but it was Corey Taylor from Slipknot. Like specifically the 2009 Download Festival when they played Spit It Out. I don't know what it was, but I really like that live thing, and I watch it like once a month probably. But the other like vocalists that I really like is like MC Ride from Death Grips. I'm a real grip head, a real gripper.
Stay noited.
I literally have like the money store mask on my like tattooed on my leg.
That's the other side of it.
I also really like just any death metal vocals. Usually sound really cool. My biggest one is the band Deterioration. I love his vocals so much. He's literally, I don't even think that man's saying words. He's just like screaming, which I mean like same. I don't, but yeah, they're good.
I'm classically trained. I played a lot of folk music on the piano and on the bass. But one of my newest influences is my stepdad. His name's Elijah Damian Davis. He's in a noise project called Stigmata with Screwdrivers, where I actually played live with his bass that he used for his project. They're super thick strings, super high action, because he hits it with swords and screwdrivers and stuff, and has pedals.
The bass itself he hits?
Yeah.
All
Like
right.
the strings and stuff, it's really cool. I guess the only other basses I really played after was I forgot his name. It's the one from Green Dad. No, it's Trey Cool or is that
No, Trey's the drummer.
the drummer? Yeah.
Yeah. His name's Mike.
Mike. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that guy. Funny haircut. Dude's great. Yeah, but that's about it.
I mean, I guess when I like first started playing, I was into like a lot different stuff than I guess I am now, but I think it was mainly like Mick Thompson and Jim Root from Slipknot. Those were like the only thing I never liked about Mick is because he just like, I like seeing people move on stage because he just stood there and it always confused me. It kind of creeped me out, but he just like I don't know. It was like, I remember, like I said earlier, like hearing this solo from Psychosocial, like that one and the one from Dead Memories. Those two were like really cool to me, just like because I didn't understand how like your hands could move like that, and it didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just gonna try it. I don't know, and it didn't work. But I broke like. I didn't know anything about guitar string gauges, and I would buy like 9 gauge strings, and I tuned to like drop F, and I didn't know what I was doing. I tried to play like Spirit Box riffs. It was weird.
Didn't work out.
No, every time. Always the high E string. It just and hit you right in the face.
Every single guitar I own does not have a high E string.
The band Mortician. It's one of my favorite bands ever. I got to see them live in Indy when they played at
That
Heavy
was
Hell.
recent, wasn't it?
Yeah, me, my friend Corbin, and Lucian all went. It was so good, but I've been listening to Mortician forever, and I love it. It's so funny. It's like 45 seconds out of the minute 20-second song is a sample. It's so funny.
God, they're so good.
I know.
I love them.
And just in general with like, you know, death metal, slam and all that, I feel like all of it is just so admirable that you can just see how much like practice went into it. Like obviously like there's like that line with practice where like it's cool, but then it kind of gets nerdy with like, you know, tech death and all that. Which, I don't listen to tech death that much, but okay, they're cool. I like them. But going back to just like slam and just so much like gore grind stuff, you know, like a band like Putrid Stew, like it's just so like you can tell like all these people are literally like 11 out of 10 on their instruments, but like they do it in a way that's like not nerdy, you know, like it's just badass.
Yeah. It like kind of like I've noticed that a lot of like really good just metal artists in general are the ones that are like classically trained, which I think is really funny because like if you look at noise music, like the good ones are the people who've like mastered every other instrument. Like Merzbow, he's insanely good and he just like plays static, but like he can play other instruments crazy good.
Metal by far is the most complicated, complex. You have to be most technically skilled. I mean, it does depend on what genre, but absolutely, like metal, for a lot of people that aren't into metal, just the technicality of a lot of it is just fucking insane. And then the guitar playing, like for me, I look back when I was playing and just the music I was listening to, and it's like, you know, there was one guitar player back then that's as good as like they are now. And it's like there's 10 to 1 now. And it's just these guys fucking shred and it's ridiculous. So yeah, I mean, you know, the musicianship definitely across the board in metal, I think is bar none probably the most advanced. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, you're all good. And I was going to say on the exact opposite spectrum, my favorite part about writing metal, I love noise so much. I was going to say Merzbow. There's more. Kurojikai. Really good. Full of Hell. I wanted to buy their noise pedals so bad.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no, I love making noise. I've made long noise pieces because I'm just get bored and you just turn up the BPM super high and then just play a whole bunch of distorted pedals and stuff. It's so fun. But yeah, it's my favorite.
Yeah, like what you were saying, like with I definitely like when I first got into guitar playing, I was always more into the music for the guitar. So like there's one band, I don't know if I'm gonna say the name or not, but they
Butcher it. There's so many fucking bands I listen to that I'm like, yeah. I have no idea.
It's fuck it. It's Necrophagus, that band. Yeah. Something like that. I don't know. Yeah. I got really into them with Stab Wound, that song, that like intro riff. I spent like 6 months trying to learn how to play that. And yeah, like that interests me like for a while, but like once I got like more to where I am now, I just like this simple, just like heavy stuff. But Yeah, like them and like Dying Fetus. That's how I learned how to sweet
Nice.
pick.
Played shows with Dying Feet.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Hell
opened up
yeah.
for him. Yeah.
That's how I learned how to sweet pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the only technical music I really like to play. I love Opeth so much. They're so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's my favorite.
I feel like on the topic of like technicality and like simplicity, like going back to Mortician, you know, I feel like that was kind of like that final nail in the coffin of like simplicity, simple, like just stupid heavy music that like I feel like now with all like the death metal scene, like, you know, 200 Stab Wounds, Frozen Soul, all these different bands like in that single Sugabog, it just there's something so Mortician-y about them that like I feel like Mortician was that final thing of like they took metal and just slammed to like such a primal level that like it just can't be replicated, you know?
Call it caveman riffs.
Yeah, like it truly is just, especially like because all like majority of their like popular albums, like it's just like what's it called?
Chainsaw Dismemberment.
No, like
For
the
barbecue?
the drums.
Drum machines.
Yeah, drum machines. It's like a bunch of drum machines, but like you can just
Dare they
tell.
have drum machines.
You can just tell how just like amazingly simple it is, and just how like strong their formula is. You know.
Yeah, I even think like
Just interview him. It's good.
Yeah.
I even think like those like lower like just like chunk like Mortician, like those chunky riffs, like being able to write albums out of riffs like those and all of them have their own sound is like it with like speed incorporated is like a technicality in its own.
Yeah.
Like besides just like how many notes can I throw in at 200 BPM, it definitely sure brings like a different kind of entertainment to the noise.
Okay, so switching gears, kind of curious to hear some funny stories about, you know, being on the road, some, you know, being locked in the van together, anything like that. So let's hear some of those.
I've lost my glasses at almost every single gig we've played. Every single one. We played at Fort Wayne. I looked around for that was my phone. Lost my phone at that one, and I lost my glasses, and I lost my pedal. And then I found my pedal. I found everything. My phone was for some reason outside. My glasses. We played in Ohio. Lost my glasses, and I found them after a while. They were somehow under a speaker. And after that, I talked to one of the guys, and he was like, didn't want to say anything, but I didn't think you were gonna find them. This place is a mess." Nobody else got it?
I've been hit in the face a lot of times. That's I'll think of a better one when it comes back.
There was this one time we played at the Well for a benefit show, and already like the gear I was using was just very like it was on its absolute like just 1% last leg. Like I don't understand how I was able to gig for those initial shows, but we were on our last song, and like our last song was like it's called Evil Wizard Spells, and it's kind of like our that's it's our longest song, but like it's such a like almost like it is just one of our like songs that we just love so much to play, and like I was so excited to play it, especially for it like at the time being such a new song that we wrote. Literally like 3 seconds into the intro, my double pedal just shits out, and like I'm just like, what do I do? And so we tried for literally like 12 minutes of just trying to be all like what do we do? What do we do? Asking like bands like, can we use your double hook? But like eventually we found like a screw that like held into it. And I just find it so funny from like the spectator's perspective of just like we're all just like up there with our instruments, just like what's up, guys? You know,
I feel you. I've totally busted my fucking snare. I put my hand through it before.
that too. There's another when we played at Fort Wayne with this band called Pretending, screamo band from Portland. My snare literally like just became an open circle. Like there was no snare. It was just a piece of wood.
Yeah.
And so we played a whole entire set with just like a plunking sound for the snare. It was beautiful.
Sweet.
I was gonna say, some of you guys were there, I think, but I went to a show and I got donkey kicked in the nose first set, and it broke it like that way.
Oh, shit.
And a band that we're playing with on the 28th, the guitarist, before they were like announced as a band, he's the one that put my nose back in place so that I can go back into the pit and keep going.
Aw.
CR show.
Yeah, and it was the guy. He's in the band Ripped Open. Just released their EP. It's so good. But quiet down, you. And
Quick shameless plug before you're thinking. Who are you playing with on the 28th and where?
We're playing. What's it called, the Carolina Room? You do it.
Yeah. On the 21st, we're playing at Lang Lab with Pretending, Violet Piercing, Tub Girl, and Scumbag Skippy. And on the 28th, we're playing at the Carolina Room in Muncie with Ripped Open, Lust Witch, King's Gambit, and Sermos. Yes.
Hell yeah.
It's a Sermos reunion show.
Nice.
It's the guitarist of Volcano and who's he? Sanguine Sugabog. Yeah, I'm super excited.
It's his high school band.
Yeah.
Do you have a story? Gabe?
Like a
Yeah,
show
Something
story.
is funny. Like I have a story where I whipped my bassist in the ass with a licorice rope, but I lived it first. Oh yeah, we were early to the venue. We had nothing to do.
Let me think. I don't know.
That's okay.
All right.
It's not like a show I played. It was just a show I was at. But there's a band in Fort Wayne that I really, really like called Parasitic Twins. And it was at the Bug House. And like halfway through the set, the lead singer punched the ceiling and the ceiling tile just like broke like this. And then like 3 people found like a power drill and drilled it back into place while they were still playing. And then like a few months later, Parasitic Twins played that venue again, and he punched the ceiling again. And this time, instead of just like half of it falling out, just the whole thing fell out.
Jesus.
And it was the same show that he, when they got up there, he was like, yeah, we haven't played in a while, so as punishment for our sins, I'm going to be Jesus tonight. And he wore a shock collar the whole show and like just gave it to people to shock him. I enjoyed that show a lot. That was a good one.
When we had played a show in Ohio, it was me, Jonan, and Caden driving while Jared drove separately. But me and Jonan, it was a 4-hour drive, mind you. Me and Jonan engaged in conversation the whole way. Like there was not a single moment other than when I took like a 15-minute nap. Like the whole time we were just talking, and it was like a fast-paced conversation too. Like we were constantly switching topics. And like the funniest thing about it is that like anytime me or Jonan would be like, right, Caden just be like, huh? Like taking out his AirPod.
I was so tired of that show.
Yeah. But also, funnily enough, too, today was the first time all 4 of us have actually gotten in a car. Like, anytime we go to a show or like play a show, it's always like 2 of us driving with each other, then the two others are driving with them. Like, so it's like we have actually never been in like the same car other than literally today.
Very cool. So this is just kind of tell me a little bit about how you came up with the name Torture Pig.
The pig guy from Manhunt, Pigsy, literally
Nice.
just him. That's the whole thing, and like the pig mask from Saw. That's it.
Very
That's
cool.
the only thing.
It's kind of funny too, because like, okay, well, it's not funny, but like in the way that like it sucks so badly trying to find us on YouTube, because tortured pig.
Yeah.
It showed some pretty bad results.
It's just like the PETA videos of like pigs getting thrown into.
Yeah,
meat cylinders. It's really bad.
it will be like that video, and then like the video right below it is like a live version of us, and it's just like
We've all had some bad YouTube searches.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Bloody pussy.
Yeah.
No.
Don't look it up. It's not worth it.
Is that a band?
That's awesome. So you guys have a new album that's coming out. Tell us a little bit about it.
It is.
Yeah,
It is out now. It released. That's right.
Is this your first?
So we actually had recorded a demo from both of these recordings have been in my basement, and that initial demo, I can't lie to you, it sounds absolutely butt shit terrible, and I can say that because like I recorded it, so it's like, but yeah, so this is our second release called Pig Torture, creatively enough, but it's been the whole process of recording has been over like, I don't know, like 2 months, 2.5 months, I would say. And yeah, it's been honestly just way more better, because I feel like that initial demo, I felt like I internalized a lot of pressure to be like, oh, I have to learn this, I have to do this, oh, I have to set up in this way. But like this new EP that we just released, it just feels so much more rewarding, that like there was really no stress that came into it other than like trying to find a day for like us to like come together and record. But like that was as far as the stress really came. And also it just like feels so reassuring that like this new EP just sounds good. It's like, it's abrasive in the way that a lot of grindcore is, but it's not abrasive in the way that like you just don't want to listen to it. There's songs that have that like shitty mix that's just like, why am I listening to this, But like, yeah, this new EP has been really, really rewarding to record, and it's cool to see that, like, because we have two songs on the new EP that were also on the demo, which we re-recorded them, and yeah, it's just it's really reassuring knowing that like all of us have grown so much in like musicianship that like we're able to like really just like get a solid, just complete release.
Sweet. So how can people get it? Is it hard copy? Is it out there on Spotify? All that stuff?
We haven't done any hard copies yet, but it's a good idea.
We had the cassettes.
Oh, that's true. We did have cassettes for our demo.
nice.
That was for the demo, though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna learn how to burn discs soon.
There you go.
It's like on all the streaming things. It's gonna be on Bandcamp tonight. I promise. I'm not gonna forget this time. I like meant to do it like because the night. So it came out on the 13th. So on the 12th, I was at a show in Grand Rapids. And I was like, I'll do it when I get home. And then I just went to bed. And then I was like, oh, I'll do it in the morning. And I've just been putting it off over and over because I just keep forgetting. But I will get it eventually. I promise.
Sorry, by the time this drops, nobody will notice. So you're good. You're good.
It's on Apple Music for the only person who uses Apple Music in this room, Caden.
And Mario uses Apple Music.
You.
We made like me and a group of my friends made like a collaborative playlist for when we go on like long drives for shows. Only person in the group who didn't have Spotify was Mario because I like the HD sound of Apple Music.
Real quick question: where do you guys see yourselves in the future?
I don't know.
Then you can.
In another basement.
Playing with Slipknot at Nafet. Probably still here in Indiana. Just playing the same shows with friends' bands and just doing what we do. That's cool.
I feel like one thing I've definitely learned over the years of being in like different bands, it's like having that musical connection is pretty good, but like it's not going to take you in the long run. Because I feel like one thing that I had learned in like my past band versus this band is that past band, it was music connection first, friend connection next. But this one is definitely like friend connection first, music connection next. Whereas like, I feel like that's just it works so much better for the long run. Cause we don't feel pressure to be like, guys, we have to practice this date. Guys, we have to write new music. We don't really take ourselves seriously in the way that like, my past bands were kind of like in that same deal. So like, I definitely do feel like there's longevity in what we do, and especially just the type of music we write. It's just so like we can just constantly throw out just riffs, even if it's like a shitty riff, quote unquote. Like we'll just still make it funny. We'll just make it enjoyable, But yeah, as John said, definitely playing in another basement for the next 20 years.
Kind of just want to like. We can like release some more EPs and maybe an album, and then I will just disappear. I'll just be gone.
Be mysterious. Okay, so one final question, kind of just to go off course a little bit. So we are a podcast that's about true crime and horror movies and all that sort of stuff. So any horror fans? Do we have any favorites? Okay.
Yes.
I'm curious to see what some favorites are.
I would assume so, since you guys listen to Mortician, and we know they're all about the horror. You've got a horror T-shirt yourself there, buddy.
That's right.
My favorite franchise is The Evil Dead, and also Child's Play.
There you go.
And House of a Thousand Corpses is the best movie ever made. It's basically like an hour and a half long Rob Zombie music video.
It was back out in theaters for a short time.
I know, I missed it, but it's really, really good. I also really like the artsy New French Extremity movies because I'm just silly like that.
Probably a big Raw fan, huh?
Yeah, I like that movie a lot.
I like Tetsuo the Iron Man a lot, like that kind of body horror and stuff, and more like artistic depictions where it just looks gross. So that's really cool.
House, like he said, House of a Thousand Corpses is that's you get the idea. That's a big one for me. That was one of the first horror movies I ever saw. The Scream franchise was a big one for me. Like all of those movies, Friday the 13th, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yeah. I know this is like it's related in a way. You'll get it. But it's like outside of our style of music, but Ice Nine Kills, all of their songs being like
I
the
love
horror
them.
movies.
They're fun.
That it's just like, I don't know. That's actually how I've watched a lot of horror movies. I'd like look up what this song's about and then
Oh, that's
have a new movie, and then it
awesome.
makes a lot more sense to me when I listen to the song again. Yeah.
That's what I did with like Mortician. I'd hear one of the samples. I was like, that was
Accurate.
fucking weird. Like, the only reason I watched the movie, I can't remember what it's called. Whatever sample they used at the beginning of the song Rabid. That's the only reason I watched that movie.
Men become animals and eat their victims. I drink your blood and I eat your skin.
I think my absolute number one undisputed horror movie is definitely Martyrs, the original from
Nice.
France. It's just like that movie just takes like, I feel like with that type of genre of just like ultimate extreme like gore movies, they like touch on just so many like cliche topics of like things to just like offend you type of deal. But where Martyrs like differs from that, it's so methodical, it's so thought out with what they want to show you without pushing those sensitive buttons, you know. But like I feel like with Martyrs just in general, like it shows so much extreme gore with just like such a thought out way, and then it like does a complete like 180 on you, like explaining to you like why it is the way. And I'm not going to spoil it, you know, in case people want to watch it, but like but yeah, undisputed. I love that movie to death. I've seen it like 8 times.
Very cool.
One more thing for one specific person. If you see this, you know who you are. Skinamarink sucks. It is the shittiest fucking movie I saw all year, and you'll know if you're watching this, Mario. I hate that movie.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen this one. You probably have, but I know Jared has The August Underground.
Oh my god.
That movie's so good. That movie's so good. And it's like there's parts of it that like I was like, I don't know who made this, but they're like, I bet they're like kind of a funny person. Because like some of
Yeah.
I follow him on Instagram. It's funny as hell.
yeah, like
He's
some
a
of the
really great
parts
guy, I've heard.
like the movie is like completely fucked, but like like some parts of it, I was like, I know what he was doing. He was trying to be funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was that was like one of the first ever like really like I was like, what am I watching? And then I was telling you about that earlier. I just watched Terrifier 2. Like off rip, that movie's fucked. Yeah.
Such a good movie, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to see the first one in theaters because it was back in theaters for a while. It was me.
The first Terrifier?
Yeah, it was me, my friend Mario, and like 2 other guys in the front row. And I got there late, and the cashier guy was like, "I'm not supposed to like sell you a ticket for a movie that started 20 minutes ago." I was like, "Come on, can you just sell me a ticket for another movie?" But yeah, the best part's when he just has a gun and just shoots her.
I also like kind of like psychological horror movies and Smile. That movie was really good. I really liked that one. You did you? Yeah, I saw that in theaters and oh, that movie scared the shit out of me.
Coming out too.
Yeah.
I heard about and Black Phone. I like that movie.
Yep,
Yeah, the second one's coming out. Yeah.
The first time I ever saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I was like probably like 17 at this point, and like it was my first ever time watching it. I was literally like shitting pants, terrified of it. I was not doing good, and I was having like a sleepover with the homies, and like I just went to bed, and all of a sudden my homie just starts like banging on the door just super hard, and I start screaming. Obviously, I'm like, "What is going on?" And then he just opens the door, he's like, "Dude, I'm sorry."
If you like that one and you like comedy, you have to watch the second one. Fucking all-time favorite movie. I'm a hugest fucking Bill Moseley fan for sure.
Shaun of the Dead's pretty terrifying too.
Sweet. Well,
That's it.
I was gonna say, I mean, you know, we appreciate you all coming on.
Yeah.
We're gonna wrap it up. We're getting close to where we want to cut it off. But any last things you guys want to say before we cut it off?
Shameless shout outs.
Yeah.
Shout out Fort Wayne. Fort Wayne's a very big thing for us. We played a lot of shows there. The scene there is always rolling. Shout out South Bend. You know, that's hometown for us.
Absolutely.
It's a shout out The Well. Shout out Krishna Den, Ling Lab. Any Grey Gordon building. Yeah, just all the people that have supported us. Very nice people.
Awesome. Go ahead.
Some, listen to Fetus Set, Colossal Man, Parasitic Twins,
Tub Girl, Scumbag Skippy, I Left My Body Behind. There's probably more. Flux Capacitor, X Will Mark the Place, Payasa, Gun Mask.
They were cool.
Ripped open.
Oh yeah, ripped open.
Oh,
Rest in peace.
you guys are saying all of them. Come on. Let me get, listen to my other band, Cicada.
If not, I mean, if you really want to.
Shameless plug time. Go ahead.
Yep.
Oh, listen to Fractured, Window Suicide. It's on Spotify.
Stop what you're.
That's the whole point of this.
Stop what you're doing and never do that a day in your life, please. Fuck.
You can't follow that up. I mean, that's.
Yeah, no one, please. Shout out, mom. No one listen to Widow Suicide. Like, please, like, for the sake of your own, like, mental sanity and just, like, it will change the course of your life in the worst ways possible.
Awesome.
Shout out my mom for always supporting us and being able to keep us in the basement. You know, she was
Cellar dwellers. Baby.
That's true. That's true. She's always offering them like food. It's so funny. Yeah.
Sweet.
Shout out Violet Piercing. That's my other band. We're Crybaby Hardcore. So yeah.
Nice.
Awesome. Well, from Ivy and myself, we really appreciate you guys being on here.
You.
It was the first time we've done this shit, so we really appreciate it. So everyone, Torture Pig, go see him, go check him out.
Yes, please.
Rock on.
Have a good night, everyone.
See you
Bye-bye.
later, Cellar Dwellers.
Woo!
Bye bye. Did it, guys.
That's
Awesome.
a wrap.